And when he was put out of the race, I think quite unfairly, if you want to know the truth, many of the Bernie Sanders voters voted for me. And I felt very comfortable, frankly, in seeing that and saying that. And, you know, it just turned out to be a statistical truth. But no, I feel very comfortable. I would feel very, very comfortable being in New York, and I think much more so after the meeting. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a question for you, but a very quick one for the mayor. Why did you fly here? Aren't trains greener?
I'll use every form of transit, and I want to make sure that they're all affordable in New York City, and that's why making buses fast and free is a centerpiece of our campaign.
There is a bus that goes.
Well, but I know, but it'd be fluid. That's a lot quicker too. You know, I mean, he's working very hard. For him to be, that's a very long drive. I'll stick up for you. You know, the plan.
What a fucking stupid question. Why didn't you take a train here? Why did you take a flight here? Did Trump actually think he took the bus or something? No.
Plane takes you 30 minutes and driving takes you a
And
long
Mr.
time.
President, I was wondering if you could clear up some confusion around a
It really is giving socialism is when no house. Also, I'll say it, dude. The trains, even the trains from New York to DC suck. They are so ass. They are so, like the Amtrak that runs. And don't even get me started on the Greyhounds. Fucking dog shit. But the Amtraks that run, I can't believe anyone rides those things. At least on the East Coast, the Amtrak is so shit. I will never forget, I showed up to, I had my ticket. I'm not joking. I had my ticket. I was visiting a friend in Pennsylvania. I think it was Virginia. And I was like, well, I'll just take the Amtrak. You know, I hate flying. I love trains. Let me take it. I take a train. On my way back, I'm by the station. I'm there an hour before my train. I'm standing at the train station. It's like 10 p.m. I'm there an hour early. I'm waiting. No train. 10 minutes go by. No train. 30 minutes go by. No train. 40 minutes. 50 minutes. Okay. An hour. Now we are officially at the time that my train is supposed to be here. Still no train. No trains have passed the station. I am at the right station. I've only checked it 100 times. I'm waiting. Okay, 5 minutes pass. The train's going to be late. It's okay. Still no train. 10 minutes pass. No train. 20 minutes pass. No train. The train is now 30 minutes late. Still no train. I've been here for an hour and a half. I was here an hour early. There were no trains. And then I waited another 30 minutes. Still no trains. I wait another 2 hours. And finally, a train shows up. A train finally shows up. I walk into the train, from the train station into the train. And I'm like, yeah, I was like, whatever, the train's late, whatever, I don't care. I've never ridden an Amtrak before. It is what it is. I show them my Amtrak, ticket. And I'm like, hey, let me in. And he's like, that's not for this train. I'm like, the address is here. I was here an hour early. This is the only train that's passed here. That's not the train. I don't know where your train is, but you missed it. This is not it. But I've been here the whole time. What do you mean? Sorry, we can't let you on. You missed your train. And I was so ready to fight. Because I'm like, I don't have anywhere to stay. Well, I would have had to call up my friend and be like, dude, can I just stay another day? But I had to go back home. I have school. I have nonsense that I have to deal with. It's almost midnight. And this guy doesn't want to let me back on the train, even though I have a valid ticket for a train. What do you think I'm doing? It's for today. What do you think I'm doing exactly? And the train is empty, by the way. There's 3 people. This guy is just being a douchebag for no fucking reason. He's just being a total douchebag for no reason. I'm like, dude, I literally have to go home. I have to go home right now. I need my fucking... What do you mean? I waited here for 2 hours and this guy would not let me on. And then eventually a different guy came on and was like, what's the problem? And he's like, oh, her ticket's wrong. And he's like, dude, just let her on. We got to go. And he's like, he looks at me and he's like, yeah, whatever. And then he lets me in. I was ready to throw that guy on the tracks, dude. Oh my God. Oh my God. Bro, you are taking your job too seriously. You are taking your job way too seriously at Amtrak. Oh my God. I've got a backpack. I've got a ticket and I've been waiting there and I'm freezing cold. Let me in. Fucking absolutely. I couldn't even believe it. And after that moment, I was like, I'm not taking trains. Actually, that was Mr. Amtrak. That was Mr. Amtrak. Is there no guarantee with the ticket? In Germany, if you booked a train, it doesn't arrive within 15 minutes, you can take whatever train you want. No. And there isn't even a way to I would have been down to buy another ticket to go home. I wanted to go home so bad. I literally just wanted to fucking go home. And there isn't even a way to remedy the issue. There isn't even hey, You can get on, you just have to buy another ticket. That wasn't even a possibility. But Chatter, that's not a very good way of maximizing profit. Amtrak should at least have a way for you to transfer tickets to another train. They should at least have a way of like scanning the train or scanning your ticket to be like, okay, that's a real valid ticket. We have, if you want, we can charge you, $50 or whatever with the same card you used. And then you can get, I would have done that. I would have literally done that. So the guy let me on. I couldn't even believe it. I was so furious. I was so furious because I never show up early to things. I always show up either on time or 5 minutes late. Although I've gotten better and now I show up like 15 minutes early. But for important things, I'll show up an hour early. And I couldn't even, I was so mad. Anyways, the idea of that you would take one of the worst fucking trains that on this fucking planet, you would take an Amtrak to one of the most important meetings. You would take a fucking plane. Okay, I'm sorry. The mayor of New York City, future mayor of New York City, mayor-elect, going to meet the president. That's too important to rely on fucking Amtrak.
Washington Post report, there was this explosive report that the Coast Guard is no longer going to characterize swastikas and nooses as hate symbols. DHS called that a lie and fake news. Can you clear up?
I don't know anything about it. When was this written?
I think yesterday.
Well, look, the Coast Guard's an incredible group of people. I know them very well. We just ordered a lot of new Coast Guard cutters, beautiful, the most magnificent ship. They look like yachts with lots of guns on. So I don't know, I haven't seen any report like that, but certainly we want them to remain a great force, and they are.
And you did a piece in all the 9 months
Yes.
around the world. I would like to ask Mr. Mamdani, you've accused the U.S. government of committing genocide in Gaza while President Trump was working on peace. Why that?
I've spoken about the Israeli government committing genocide, and I've spoken about our government funding it. And I shared with the president in our meeting about the concern that many New Yorkers have of wanting their tax dollars to go towards the benefit of New Yorkers and their ability to afford basic dignity. And what we see right now is we're in the 9th consecutive year of more than 100,000 school children being homeless in our city. And there's a desperate need not only for the following of human rights, but also the following through on the promises we've made New Yorkers. And I appreciated the meeting we had and the work that we can do.
Do you agree that President Trump didn't do a peace and work hard to make the peace? Because he worked hard to do the peace in the Middle East and everywhere. Do you agree with that?
I appreciate all efforts towards peace, and I shared with President Trump that when I spoke to Trump voters on Hillside Avenue, including one of whom was a pharmacist that spoke about how President Trump's father actually went to that pharmacy not too far from Jamaica Estates, that people were tired of seeing our tax dollars fund endless wars. And I also believe that we have to follow through on the international human rights, and I know that still today those are being violated, and that continues to be work that has to be done no matter where we're speaking of.
Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Do you view the mayor-elect as the true leader of the Democrat Party? And do you think Leader Schumer's and Leader Jeffries, have to follow his lead?
Well, look, I hope they have great leaders. This is a man that right now I think is focused on New York City. I really think he has a chance to do a great job. We're going to help him, but I really think he has a chance to do a great job. But I'll let you answer that. You consider yourself the leader of the Democrats? I think it's more appropriate for him.
I consider.
Dude, he's glazing him so hard. Dude, he's gonna start blowing him kisses. Oh my God. Oh my God. Mamdani makes Trump look good and Trump knows it. Oh, for sure. 100%. I mean, actually, genuinely, Trump has always had an eye for this. This is not the Yahweh I expected. It doesn't using personal wealth to buy a better experience than others than others are capable of affording undermines socialism. If your understanding of socialism is everyone must have the exact same experience of living and everyone must have the exact same amount of wealth, your understanding of socialism needs a lot of work.
Myself the next mayor of New York City, and I keep my horizons firmly on New York City, and I appreciate the meeting with the president, which focused again on the 5 boroughs and whether New Yorkers could afford to live there.
By the way, being the mayor of New York City is a big deal.
Absolutely.
I always said, one of the things I would
You're thinking of ants.
love to be someday is the mayor of New York City. Being the mayor of New York, and especially now, because I think you're at really a turning point, one way or the other. It could go great, or it can go in a different direction. And I think you really have a chance to make it great. I appreciate what you're saying.
Mr. President, you said you love New York City. Mr. Mamdani, does New York City love President Trump?
New York City loves a future that is affordable. And I can tell you that there were more New Yorkers who voted for President Trump in the most recent presidential election because of that focus on cost of living. And I'm looking forward to working together to deliver on that affordability agenda.
I got a lot of votes. One more. Go ahead. 1 or 2 more. Go ahead.
He's just too good. He just has too much juice. He's got too much sauce. He has too much motion.
I tell you, the press has eaten this thing up. You know, I've had a lot of meetings with the heads of major countries. Nobody cared. This meeting that you people have gone crazy. You know, outside you have hundreds of people waiting. This is just a small little group. For some reason.
Dude, I'm dying at this chat message. My little brown FDR, I call him. I can totally imagine Trump saying that. Oh my God.
And the press has found this to be a very
Someone
interesting
give
meeting.
that man a gift sub, please.
The biggest people in the world, they come over from countries nobody cares. But they did care about this meeting, and it was a great meeting. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mr. President, I was going to ask you exactly that. Why do you think there's so much more, so much excitement around this thing in some form?
Because I think he's different. All right? I think he's different, and that can be in a very positive way. But I think he's different than, your typical guy, runs, wins, becomes mayor maybe, and nothing exciting. Because he has a chance to really do something great for New York. New York is at a very critical point, and he does need the help of the federal government to really succeed.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. Straw man me, bro. Thank you for the gift sub. Thank you, Denims. I'm happy you think I'm funny. It's the most important. It's the most important metric in here, chat. As I've always said, you can be a little annoying and you can disagree with everything I say as long as you do it in a funny way. Then I'm being sharpened like a knife on a whetstone. Okay? You're honing my abilities to go bar for bar. Okay? Also, Maiden Val, thank you so much for the 9 months. Ryu, thank you so much for the 10 gifts of Lottie. Thank you for this for the 6 months. Thank you. I just want to say really quickly also, I appreciate all of the support. It means a lot. I'm one of the few channels on Twitch, this channel, that is totally ad-free. I am sponsor-free. I don't have any money from any sponsors. And I only get to do this show because of your support, which means the world to me. And it is my preferred way of funding this little fun internet show that I get to do. And currently right now, there is a treasure train going on, which means 5 or more gift subs are 35% off. So this is the best time to support. If you have a Prime that's sitting around, feel free to throw it my way. If you got a tier 1 you'd like to send over, I would really appreciate that too. And if you want to give some other people some gift subs, let them enjoy some emotes, which by the way, we'll be getting some fun emotes very soon. Not to spoil anything, but we will be. Vesh, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs as well. This is the best time.
The are gone, people.
Thank you, C-Sense. Thank you for the 20 gift subs. Thank you, Worstbird. Thank you for the 10 gift subs. Holy, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Would you take a sponsor like Ground News or something, like a company like Moderator Protect? I would be down for a sponsor.
Definitely top 5.
It would just have to be a sponsor that wouldn't like impact my views on anything, and it'd have to be a product that I already like or support or want to be sponsored by. Like a product I already enjoy. Because I don't want to shill something that I don't even like at all, right? I would much rather get support from you guys, gift subs from you guys, subs, tier 1s, tier 2s, tier 3s, primes, and just be able to do whatever the fuck I want to do and talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk about and call Trump a little piggy. So yeah, cat food sponsor. I mean, again, I would have to like, it would have to be the company that I use and then something like that. I would love to get like a sponsor from the tea company that I like, but Lottie, thank you so much for the 5 gift subs. Kiki, thank you for the gift sub. Champagne Cyclist, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Session, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much. You'd have to taste it first, exactly. I would have to, like Laura Loomer, taste the cat food with my bare hands. And then call little Muhammad, and say, I can't believe he would eat food with his hands. That's disgusting. You should send them a clip of your stream and see what they think. Maybe, we'll see. Spill the tea. Perhaps. So anyways, all that to say, I really appreciate all the support. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the prime. Thank you for all the subs. I apologize if I don't always get to all of them.
Denims is streaming.
And I appreciate all the support during this treasure train because subs are 35% off right now. And only right now. And this is kind of, I feel like treasure trains are kind of rare. But yes, also, emotes will be coming soon. I've been workshopping some emotes that I think will bang. So don't want to spoil anything too crazy. Contraman, thank you for the 12 gift subs. Thank you. Lunette. Rapid, thank you for the 13 months. Strum Dog, thank you for the 5 gift subs. Thank you. Eventually the gift subs will hit me. No purse. No gift subs. No purse. King Broken, thank you for the prime. Is there a way I can sub for free? Yes. Wait, there was one other thing I was going to say. Oh man, I forgot. Oh, and can I just say on the Laura Loomer dog food thing really quickly, just for 1 second. It's so crazy to me that people will just like, they're so insistent on being so fucking racist that they aren't willing to address reality. I saw this on my timeline and it just dare I say, it's just a common thing that a lot of people, unfortunately, that I see do, and there happen to be more often than not white, where they share food with their pets, specifically with their dogs. And listen, I'm going to be honest. If you do this, you know, sure, do whatever you want, I guess, but it's really gross. As long as you never feed me food that's been licked by your dog, or your cat for that matter.
Yeah, that good?
Oh!
Happy birthday to...
It's not your birthday, Rob.
It's not just great. All right. Bite number...
That's so fucking disgusting, dude. That's for anyone who's on mobile. This guy like gives his dog a piece of steak, which, whatever. I don't care about that. I'm just gonna assume that the steak is fine and that it's not over seasoned or that it has anything on it that's bad for dogs. I'm just gonna assume that. But then he feeds the dog a piece of steak, and the dog just like slobbers all over the fork. And I'm like, that's fine. He's got a second fork, right? He does not have a second fork. He takes the same fork and then he eats another piece of steak. And then the dog just slobbers all over his mouth. Oh my God, it's so nasty. I'm sorry. This is my most judgmental opinion. This is the most judgmental thing that I have, which is just like, oh, it's so gross. Oh, it's so gross. Oh my God. Oh my God. And then this random Twitter user saying white people finger their dogs in daylight. What the hell? Find it weird. Where people from other cultures eat with their hands. This is unironically cleaner than eating rice with your hands. Begging people to look up how much bacteria is in a dog's tongue. Okay, so here's the thing. When you eat rice with your hands or you eat food with your hands, you do this magic thing. It's a magical thing. Where you wash your fucking hands first. And then your hands are clean. They're as clean as any other surface. Like, I can't believe people are still on this where they're like, yeah, well, it's disgusting that brown people eat rice with their hands. It's like, bro, I've literally watched you eat wings at a bar after you touched every single surface without washing your hands. And when you got the wings and you finished them, you were like, You have no room to judge. Okay? You have no room to judge. Sir. As far as I'm concerned, you can make any food a finger food if you really, really want to. Outside of like soup, because it's just not very practical. As long as you just wash your hands, man. Just wash your hands. Just wash them. How do you eat ribs? Well, my point is that these people who tend to say that it's disgusting for anyone to be eating rice with their hands, happily will eat other foods with their hands that are way messier than rice. Like wings and ribs, they're way messier than rice is. Rice doesn't leave like a sauce on your fingers. Trust me, I like wings. I like ribs. They're very messy. You just wash your hands beforehand. That's it. I like wings. I like ribs. And pussy too. Anyways, okay, sorry to get so off topic. Sorry. Gotcha, man. Thank you for the gift sub, by the way, to Kathria. And Clayton, thank you so much for the tier 1. Lot makes stuff. Thank you so much for the 9 months. Thanks, guys. It's wild to hear white people call Muslims dirty Muslims. It's a religion that expects you to wash your hands 5 times a day, and yet your Axe body spray ass thinks that counts as hygiene. That's like also the craziest thing to me. Like, no words, dude. Just like no words. No words. Sorry. But as far as I'm concerned, man, listen, if you want to be gross to me with your dog and you want to like fucking just let him slobber all over your face and that's totally fine with you, you know what, man? It's your life. You do what you want with your life as long as you never prepare food for other people that way. Okay? It's the same opinion that I have about floor food. You drop a cookie on the floor, you eat it, I won't judge you. It is what you live your life, man. It's your life. You drop a cookie on the floor and you give it to someone else, you're a disgusting human being and you will burn in hell for all of eternity, as far as I'm concerned. All right? That's as far as I'm concerned. You can have whatever hygiene you want about your food, but other people's food, your hygiene better be good. All right? It better be good. All right. Now they're going to be quarantined when we win. If it falls on the floor, I don't eat it. 5-second rule ain't real. LOL. 5-second rule. I believe in the 5-second rule, okay? As long as it's not a wet food, 5-second rule is real. In my opinion. But like I said, the standards I have for other people. My guests have much higher standards than myself for food, you know? And I don't know, like, I think it also depends on how clean your floors are. Because I've been to some people's houses, you know, heist, if you will. And there's like a visible layer of grime. It's like, so how often do you like mop? Mopping? What's that? I think I'll keep my shoes on. Sticky floors, dude, don't even get me. Nothing will compare to the horror of being barefoot on somebody else's floor and then it's sticky. And you're like, do you have a bathroom that I could, you know, just put my foot in the tub? Oh my God. Okay. Sorry to get so off topic. Back to Trump. Back to Trump's sticky.
We're going to be helping him. But he's different than, you know, your average candidate. He came out of nowhere. I said, he has a great campaign manager standing over there. He came out of nowhere. Would you start off at 1 or 2? And then I watched. I said, who is this guy? He was at 1, then he was at 3, then he was at 5, then he was at 9. Then he went up to 17. I said, let's get a little bit interesting, right? Then he went up to 17. I said, let's get a little bit interesting, right? And then all of a sudden he wins a primary that nobody expected he was going to win. It's a great tribute. I mean, it's an amazing thing that he did.
And I'll just add one thing to what the president said. Is one thing I also appreciated is in our meeting to appreciate a portrait of FDR and the incredible work that was done with the New Deal, and also in thinking about what it can look like when the federal government and New York City government work together to deliver on affordability. It can be transformative.
You know, we have a great portrait of FDR that I found in the vaults that was missing for years. I found it and I put it up. He's a Democrat, to the best of my knowledge. He's a Democrat. And when the mayor saw that portrait, he said, "Sir, do you mind if I have a picture taken by
me? I found it. Me, I did it. I found it."
That portrait. It's an amazing portrait. I hope the picture comes out good. But it's an amazing portrait in the cabinet room. So he's a big fan of the New Deal, I guess, and of FDR. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. President. You said that you both spoke about crime.
Yeah.
There are many police officers set to come off the rolls at the end of this year in New York City. Are you going to allow those police to be replaced with police officers, actual cops? And are you going to require that happens? Would there be some consequences?
Well, I hope it happens, but again, it's going to be ultimately the
Sorry, it's like an eyelash stuck in my eye. One sec.
mayor's decision.
What's your answer?
Is that I look forward to delivering public safety with the NYPD, and I've said over the course of our campaign that we have the number of police officers today. They are the ones that's budgeted about 35,000 headcount. And I think the key thing is that we have to make it easier for police to focus on police work, not ask them to respond to 200,000 mental health calls a year.
So is that a reduction from what you're at right now? Or are you committing to maintaining the same level?
I've committed over the course of the campaign to maintain the 35,000. That's the headcount that we had through the campaign.
And not replace them with caseworkers, social work?
No, I've said that's the headcount that we want. What we need to do is make sure they can focus on serious crime.
And he just retained a great police commissioner, I believe, right?
Yes, we did, Commissioner Fish.
If the newspapers are correct.
That one they're correct about.
He retained, I think, somebody that is she's a good friend of some of the people in my family, of Ivanka, and they say she's really good, really competent, and he just retained her, so that's a good sign.
Oh my God, the glaze. I can't believe it. It's non-stop glaze. I can't believe they allow such pornographic material on YouTube nowadays.
Are there still topics that you see the two disagree on in the future? And do you think you'll have more meetings like this?
There will be topics that we disagree on. I think we'll probably come to a conclusion, and ultimately he'll convince me, or I'll convince him. You know, it's for the good of New York. Ultimately, it's for the good of New York. I don't care about affiliations or parties or anything else. I want to see if this city could be unbelievable, if he could be a spectacular success, I'd be very happy.
Do you think you guys will meet more in the future too?
Excuse me?
Do you think you'll meet again in the future, you know, throughout the administration?
I think we will. I think we will. I hope we do. I enjoyed the meeting. We had a great meeting. Please.
Mr. President, Republican Elise Stefanik has campaigned multiple times by calling Zohran Mamdani a jihadist. Do you think you're standing next to a jihadist right now in the Oval Office?
No, I don't. But she's out there campaigning, and you know, you say things sometimes in a campaign.
Isn't that sort of
She's a very capable person. But you really have to ask her about that. But I don't particularly. I think I met with I met with a man who's a very rational person.
Hey, do you think the man that you're standing next to is a jihadist? No, I don't think so. You'd have to ask her that. I don't think so. I met with a man who's a very rational person. He's so great. He's very handsome, incredibly handsome. You know, beautiful smile, makes everyone around him just so happy. I love the man. I love him. You know, if it wasn't for Melania, things would be very different right now.
Met with a man who really wants to see New York be great again. And I can say again, because New York was great. You know, when I came down to Washington initially, the city was so hot. It was doing great. We were having some telltale signs of problems. We had a mayor that was not doing a great job, but still, it was moving along. And it went bad. It really went, you know, pretty bad. And he can, I think it's been at lower points, but it went pretty bad. I think he can bring it back. Now, the question is, will he bring it back all the way? Will he bring it back greater than ever before, which is, I guarantee, that's his wish. I think he wants to make it greater than ever before. And if he can, we'll be out there cheering. I'll be cheering for him. Okay? Thank you very much, everybody.
I'll be cheering for him. I'll be his cheerleader. Oh my God. Guys, I feel like, you know, we have very few opportunities as leftists to just gloat as much as we feel like gloating. And I just want to say, this is the time for gloating. Are you tired of winning? I'm not. I'm not tired of winning. I cannot believe how many people have fallen for establishment Democrats saying that the only people that can negotiate with the right are, you know, liberals. And if you're anything else, no one will ever want to concede with you at all because you're not willing to concede. And then we send in the most far left candidate we've seen in years, and he rizzes all of them, and then we get everything that we wanted. Mamdani, he doesn't even know what he's doing. He literally doesn't even know what he's doing. He has no job experience. He's not going to be able to talk to Trump the way that I talk to Trump. Mamdani spends like 30 minutes in the room with Trump. Trump's like, you can call me a fascist. It's okay. It's okay. No, he's a great guy. He's very competent. I would live in New York under this guy. No, this guy's amazing. No. He's great. He's great. We agree on a lot. You know, I think there's a reason people like him and they like me.
Thank you very much.
Oh, no, I care very deeply about Jewish safety, and I look forward to rooting out anti-Semitism across the 5 boroughs and protecting Jewish New Yorkers and every New Yorker who calls the city home.
Did you catch that last part from Trump? I mean, he probably wasn't responding.
The 5 boroughs and care very deeply about Jewish safety, and I look forward to rooting out anti-Semitism across the 5 boroughs and protecting Jewish New Yorkers and every New Yorker who calls the city home.
That's good. That was good. That was good. God, dude. I mean, just like think about it for a second, guys. Just think about it. You're Trump. There is literally no one that can even compare to your charisma. You finally run into someone and it's fucking Mamdani, the little Muhammad the communist. Of course you're gonna simp for him. Of course you are. I have been really enjoying the memes though. Friendship ended with Marjorie Taylor Greene. Now Mamdani is my best friend. Also this headline is so funny from MS Now. Should JD Vance get some moving boxes? No, dude, no.
Now I've seen everything. Hi again, everybody. You've been watching Donald Trump fall in love with New York City's Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani.
Fall in love.
Donnie in the Oval Office after a meeting with high stakes for the country's largest city. The two men have, before just now, lobbed vicious verbal attacks at one another frequently. Mamdani and his victim.
There's another factor to this that I wanted to talk about as well, which is both of them being strong characters, being able to agree with each other, makes both of them look more competent.
speech earlier this month told Trump, quote, "To get to any of us, you will have to get through all of us." Today, it was an alternate reality, completely different story. The two men,
Also, sorry, guys. I got to go piss, girl. But I'm listening. I have my earbud in.
struck a cordial tone initially, talking about lowering the cost of living for New Yorkers, and it got more affectionate on Trump's part, at least, as it went on. When pressed by journalists on whether he had called Donald Trump a fascist, Mamdani said yes, he did. Trump, for his part, who was sitting next to him, said, "Go ahead, you can answer the question. It's okay." This extraordinary meeting is where we start today. With me at the table, host of Politics Nation, president of the National Action Network, the Reverend Al Sharpton's here. He spoke with the mayor-elect ahead of this meeting yesterday. We can ask him exactly what he told him to drop into Donald Trump's Diet Coke. Also joining us, the host of Fast Politics, New York Times contributing opinion writer and political analyst Molly Jong-Fast is here. Also joining us, Puck News senior political columnist MS Now National Affairs Analyst John Heilman is here. Rev, what was the plan and what do you think?
Well, I talked to the mayor-elect last night. He called me and I told him that I've dealt with Donald Trump 40 years. He will either be very cordial and charming and may attack you on Truth Social before you get out of the grounds of the White House, or he may use it as a confrontation. That you should keep your eye on what it is you're trying to do in terms of affordability, in terms of representing segments of New York that have been neglected, and don't bite the bait. Because I think that it's clear that Donald Trump will go either way that he thinks is to his advantage. I mean, we just sat here and saw him, in effect, attack his future gubernatorial candidate's characterization of Mamdani. That's going to be one of the headlines. Trump says he's not a jihadist. I mean, there'll be many.
Fox News covers three things with Trump down at 33%. They cover crime in America's cities. Right. They cover really two things. They cover immigration, but that's pretty unpopular right now too. And they cover this line, this lie, this smear that New York's mayor-elect is.
And by the way, the reason why running on immigration is such a fucking stupid idea is that realistically, deporting a bunch of people that literally harvest the food that we grow, that we need, that, lines our grocery stores, is just going to make food more expensive. If you say the immigrants are stealing our job, we're doing it, we're kicking out 10,000 immigrants a day or whatever the fuck, and then things are still getting more and more expensive or even just staying the same, people are going to be like, first of all, A, are you even deporting people? And B, why is everything getting more expensive? This isn't even working if you are. And this is the problem with Republican positions in general. They run on these positions, people fall for these positions, they fall for these scapegoats, and then they are surprised when it doesn't work, and then they vote elsewhere.
A jihadist. What are they going to do now?
And as I was saying earlier, the reality is Trump and Mamdani are such big characters that fill up a room. No one else matters when those two people are in a room, honestly. Marjorie Taylor Greene's also up there, where they stand so fervently on the positions that they hold that they have to take up space everywhere they go. When these two strong figures come to an agreement, it benefits both of them. It makes Trump look competent because he was able to talk to the socialist and they were able to agree on things. So the rightoids can cope and be like, he must have talked him down from socialism or whatever. And then it makes Mamdani look good because Mamdani gets to look at the Democrats and say, see, you fucking idiots, this is what all of you should be doing right now. Trump looks more in control this way? Absolutely. Whereas him having another conniption isn't going to help him.
They're either going to have to attack Donald Trump or find a new script. And I think he did a lot of things in he being President Trump that was interesting. How New York had gone down. Well, I thought he said under Eric Adams everything was fine and that he and Eric were working together. He threw everybody in front of the bus. But again, Zohran Mamdani is not off the grounds yet. Don't think that Donald Trump dates. He does not get married politically. And they have.
What the fuck?
Had a good date. That does not mean this is a political marriage. I hope, though, it benefits the city of New York. I'm glad that we're not talking about him sending Vice in here and doing what he did in L.A. I think that's the positive. But would I bet on this sticking? Only because I know Donald Trump, I wouldn't bet on that.
I have never watched a public meeting, even with Putin, Trump didn't go on for as long, where he lavished that much praise, affection, and admiration on anyone.
So I have a theory that some of what's happened is that Donald Trump sees how popular Zohran is, and he wants to get on that affordability train, right? He sees his numbers. He knows inflation is plaguing him. I mean, maybe I'm ascribing too much sort of political acumen to him, but I just wonder, because when he was talking, he said, you know, many Bernie Sanders voters voted for me. And then you had Zohran go back and say, you know, they voted for him. You know, a lot of people in New York City voted for him. Yeah. And then he said more people voted for me. You know, I just wonder if I mean, look, obviously he really did clearly like him. And I think that it speaks to the talent, the raw political talent that Zohran has, that he can go in and sit there and just make this guy his greatest cheerleader. But I also wonder if he's trying to get on that.
I mean, Trump literally said, I'm cheering him on.
You know, he ran as a populist. He said he was going to make things cheaper.
We're ascribing to Trump like a multi-step process when all that we've ever witnessed is like a hunting dog's reflexes. Right. And I just think there was a winner in the Oval Office today who won something that Donald Trump just told us he'd always wanted. Donald Trump said, quote, one of the things I would love to be is mayor of New York. And this is someone who won. Again, we'll quote Donald Trump today on this. Came out of nowhere, and Trump was obviously tracking his poll numbers. So Trump is endorsing Cuomo, is flipping Adams or whatever the hell he did with the Adams criminal bribery case at DOJ. And I wonder how all those lawyers feel about ruining their integrity to spring Adams when Trump was obviously in love with Mamdani the whole time. And he's tracking his polls. He says you were at 1 and then 4 and then 9. He's obviously been following his meteoric rise. And the guy is sitting there saying, you can call me a fascist or a despot. You just answered the question. I mean, I've never seen him sort of care for his children, his vice president, or his cabinet's credibility the way he seemed committed to honoring Mamdani's credibility.
No, I've never seen him do that before. But Donald Trump is one that likes a political athlete.
Winner.
Right.
And a winner. I mean,
he literally has never even looked at J.D. Vance that way, let alone he's never looked at even his own kids that way. Of course not. His children aren't even likable.
When sometime we would get along, I would sit at ringside at boxing matches because he had the license in Atlantic City. He would go in rooting for one boxer, and if another guy got ahead in the third round, he was rooting for him. He's going to walk out of the place with the winner. And
should like J.D. Vance get some moving boxes?
Exactly. Yeah. But I think what is critical here, let's not forget, is that Trump changed a position on Mamdani. Right. Mamdani did not change what he was saying he wanted to do in the city. And I think what a lot of us were looking for is whether Mamdani, even when they asked questions, well, what are you saying about Trump? He said people voted for affordability. Some of them voted for Trump. You did not see Mamdani become the guy that changed
at all.
His script at all. It was all Trump. And so I could say from having talked to Mamdani several times, including last night, that he
can't get over him continuously calling him Mamdani. But that's fine. Open presents. Thank you for the 25 gift subs, by the way. Holy shit, thanks.
held the line on what he said. It's Donald Trump that changed the script, and he did so rightfully. He ought to be working with the mayor of New York. He ought to be talking like this. I just don't know how long it will last. But I think that Zohran Mamdani did not change
We're
anything.
on McDonnie.
Other than he was cordial to a man who had called him everything but a child of God. And he had no reason to confront him because Donald Trump said, no, he's not a jihadist. No, he's going to do great things. No, he's going to be a great mayor. This is a guy who said, let's vote to save the city to vote for somebody else.
Hi.
I'll tell you a little.
I just have to say, I've covered Donald Trump for 9 years. This might be one of my favorite live Trump events I've ever covered.
What the hell is that pause? Fucking MS Now reporter getting word from the studio. Dude, you're glazing him too hard. You're glazing him too hard. Tone it back. Tone it back. Tone it back.
One of the greatest
I gotta
things
say, just to think back on over the course of our week, if I had asked you all a week ago what was more likely, that Donald Trump would capitulate on the Epstein files and would urge everyone to vote for the discharge petition, and that Marjorie Taylor Greene, Lauren Boebert would stand up to all those things, you would have said, "Oh, that's pretty unlikely, John." Right. What's less likely, that or this Mamdani thing? It would have been a stumper. You know, that Trump would end up having a love fest with Mamdani. Would be like, oh my God, I don't know which one of those is like. I often tell the story of my first encounter with Trump when he decided to run for Trump. And I've been fighting on Twitter for years and years and years. He decided to run for president. The day after he announced for president, I was at Trump Tower. I came back, we covered it on live television. I tweeted out a thing that said, everybody who thinks that Donald Trump can't win the Republican nomination, you should think twice, because the Republican Party is becoming more racist, more xenophobic, more populist, more this, more that. Trump tweeted back, at Jay Hiles finally started to understand Donald Trump. And I really was like, oh, he's binary. Like, at that moment, there were all these political reporters and correspondents and analysts saying he can't win. And it didn't matter why I said. I could have said.
You said he could win because people are becoming as racist as
but
he
it didn't matter. If I had said the whole country is secretly in the Ku Klux Klan, that's why he could win, he would have been like, thank you for saying that.
Yeah. Are we back? Are we back? Saved? Question mark. My whole computer just like turned off, but I could still hear the video, and then it turned back on. That was so bizarre. But it would turn back on with everything still here. What the hell? My face is frozen? Really? GPU crashed, I think? Maybe. Wait, am I still frozen? Or are we good? Let me open the Twitch app. No, everything's working? Okay, good. The hell? I don't know what that was. Maybe graphic card updated or something. That was bizarre. Okay, I thought it turned off.
Winner, loser.
That's right.
Your thing at the binary, at any moment, there's you're with me or against me. You think I can win at that? Winner.
Yeah.
Zohran Mamdani, in 2024, Donald Trump was on the presidential ballot here because he ran for president, right? In New York City, he won 786,000 votes. In a presidential election year, 786,000 votes. Zohran Mamdani won more than 1 million votes the other day. That, in Donald Trump's mind, is a very simple scorecard.
Right.
That guy, he looks like that guy goes, he's a winner. He's a winner. And I don't think any of it guarantees anything, because you will recall, after the election in 2016, he sat there in the Oval Office with Barack Obama.
Yeah.
They didn't have a love fest like this, but it was cordial.
A love fest is crazy.
And Trump came out after.
The worst part about all this is I'm pretty sure Trump isn't even offended because he is in love.
Afterwards and said he really liked Obama. He thought Obama was really good. He said all kinds of nice things about Obama. Not like this, because he was just coming in, but they had a very cordial meeting. And now, as you know, Donald Trump has been trying to investigate Barack Obama ever since. Right. 2 months from now, we could be in a totally different place. But right now, Trump is feeling like weak and like a loser. Zohran Mamdani is a winner, and he wants to be in that.
I was about to say,
I agree with you. I'm saying 2 days, 2 months, 2 weeks, who knows? None of it means anything except for today. But today, Donald Trump is on his heels this week, and Zohran Mamdani is on the opposite of what your heels are, on his toes. He's like, I just want to.
He's on his knees.
Sit here and like bask around in the warm glow of winter right now, because he's probably feeling not very winnerish at the moment.
Oh my God, dude. I can't believe this. The photo of Trump looking up to Mamdani is almost as iconic or more iconic than the photo of Trump getting shot and then like being on the floor or whatever and then like lifting his arm up. Oh my God. Trump is now doing a Truth Social photo dump of his meeting with Zohran, including their pics with FDR painting that Mamdani liked. It was a great honor meeting Zohran Mamdani, the new mayor of New York City. Dude, him posting the solo photos is crazy. I'd like to think that like Mamdani was in the room standing next to the FDR painting and Trump was like, wait. This is going to be a good one. Let me just stand over there. Yeah, give me a big smile. Oh, this is going on Truth Social. This is a good one. For one of the the most self-obsessed people on the planet, Trump, to post a photo of someone else and it doesn't have him in the photo. I don't even know if he's done that with his kids or his wife. Like, I genuinely don't know. I don't think he has. He also posted this one. This is the classic Trump reaching over to jerk you off. He's like getting in position. He's like, yeah, let me just... He doesn't post his kids ever? Yeah, because they're embarrassing for him. Oh my God. Dude, can you imagine being this chatter? I know, it's hard to imagine being this much of a loser, but like, wow, Trump talked to someone face to face and found that he liked him. Wow. Crazy, y'all mad that Trump found that he likes Mamdani. I don't know what's wrong with the average, like, conservative or Trumper or whatever, that they don't understand that laughter doesn't mean that you're mad. Like, please go learn human emotions. Muhammad was a pedo. Trump clearly never talked to Mamdani face to face. You just said that he talked to someone. Wait, do you think that he did or didn't? Trump talked to someone and found that he liked him. Trump clearly never talked to Mamdani face to face. What? Which one is it? 4K is sad. Asmon's stream yesterday hit 500K. This chick's a loser. It's a truth, buddy. Asmon gets way more views. Y'all are clearly the thought minority. Yeah, and Europe had way more people dying of the bubonic plague. That didn't make them better than the Middle East, you fucking idiot. Well, way more people think this stupid thing, which means we're right. Okay. Catch the bubonic plague then. Okay. I don't care. If you want to simp for, you know, the dude that will never fucking acknowledge you jerking him off, you go for it. I'm not going to stop you, I guess. Have as much fun as you want. All right. Moving on. Moving on from that. Now, this is the last thing I wanted to do on this topic.
President Trump welcoming the mayor-elect of New York, Zohran Mamdani. President Trump stepping in to keep things from going off the rails.
Are you affirming that you think President Trump is a fascist?
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say
okay.
yes.
Okay.
It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind.
Fascist, just one harsh Mamdani campaign label for Trump. And the son of Queens, now turned president, happily returned those insults. Remember, calling Mamdani a communist, a disaster, and threatening to withhold billions in federal aid from the city. But this very, very different day included the president sounding as if he'd be happy to move back to soon-to-be Mamdani's New York.
Would you feel comfortable living in New York City under a Mamdani administration?
Yeah, I would. I really would. Especially
I can't
after
believe he just let him call him a fascist. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
meeting. Absolutely.
Now, we all know from experience it did not have to go the way it did. More than a few others, with those who've clashed with the president, those meetings have not gone well. Just ask Ukraine's president.
I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out.
Many thought this also might be a slugfest, especially given what each has already said about the other.
It's going to be hard for me as the president to give a lot of money to New York because if you have a communist running New York, all you're doing is wasting the money you're sending there.
We have won because New Yorkers have stood up for a city they can afford, where the mayor will use their power to reject Donald Trump's fascism.
This guy is a communist at the highest level, and he wants to destroy New York.
I will not be intimidated by this president. I will not be intimidated by anyone, because my job here is to serve the people of this city.
This communist from New York someday gets elected. I can't believe that's happening. That's a terrible thing for our country, by the way.
So hear me, President Trump, when I say this. To get to any of us, you will have to get through all of us.
Yeah. All that happened. In the end, though, for reasons we'll talk about with our very New York accented political panel tonight,
I feel so bad for I feel so bad for the Fox News hosts that are like, I swear I'm not coping. I swear I'm not coping, by the way. Mamdani got rolled, actually. We're not coping, though. We're not coping.
Two men appear to have decided that, at least for now, it is better for their constituents and themselves to be seen as the kind of unlikely pair, maybe, that only a city like New York can produce. That said, some of the moments today were truly remarkable.
We agree on a lot more than I would have thought.
I am really looking forward to delivering for New Yorkers in partnership with the president on the affordability agenda.
So we're going to work together.
I've spoken about...
That's okay. You can just say yes.
Okay.
So.
All right.
Okay. It's easier. It's easier than explaining it. I don't mind. We're going to help him, but I really think he has a chance to do a great job. I'll be cheering for him.
Didn't mention anything about America or...
I think he is going to surprise some conservative people, actually, and some very liberal people. I think I met with a man who's a very rational person.
And now, even more evidence this love fest has a shelf life. Take a look. These are new photos of the visit. The president just posted them on his social network with the words, "It was a great honor meeting Zohran Mamdani, the new mayor of New York City." Wow. Perspective now from the executive committee chair of the New York State Democratic Committee and the president and CEO of WIN, Christine Quinn, former senior advisor to President Obama, and our CNN chief political analyst, David Axelrod, and Republican strategist and CNN political commentator, Shermichael Singleton. David Axelrod, to you first. You've been in some awkward and some interesting and some
He literally posted the solo pic. He's in love. Yes. Yes.
Fascinating Oval Office meetings. I had this morning, my bet was that this would go actually pretty well because it's in the interest of both men to delay any fighting until the mayor's actually in office. But I did not have on my bingo card Donald Trump saying, "Oh, yeah, sure, hey, call me a fascist. I don't care." Why? Why did this play out the way it did?
Well, first of all, did you have on your bingo card that the week would begin with him calling Marjorie Taylor Greene a traitor and would end with him embracing Zohran Mamdani? It's been
there's a disruption in the
quite
force.
A week.
Yes,
it's been quite a week. Look, I think you were right. I do think it was in both their interests. I think Mamdani made the right move by asking for the meeting, and then he made another good move by showing up and really searching for areas of agreement on which they could work together. He can be a very charming guy. The New Yorkers discovered that, and I think he brought that with him. But he also, I thought brilliantly, for example, focusing on dealing with overburdensome housing regulations.
Literally, what did I say? What did I say? That he's the only politician that's actually doing the politician speak for the benefit of the people. That he's not falling for like the soundbite attempts from journalists. He's not letting them say like, "Well, you're anti-Semitic, right." And he's just like, "Listen, I'm just giving the people what the people wanted. All right, that's it. That's all." One sec.
In New York, so that you could build housing more quickly. That was going to be an idea that Donald Trump would embrace, saying, "Yeah, we do want to get violent people out of our city, and there are 170 laws that." On which we can work together with you on these immigration issues, but we don't want innocent people being harassed. He came with a strategy, and he understood Trump's psychology, and the combination of deference and understanding that psychology produced the result you saw.
So, Christine, how do you build on it is the challenge for the new mayor. He needs help from the governor and the legislature, the assembly here in New York, but he also does need help from the president. The president had said if Mamdani wanted to withhold billions to build the tunnel, for example, a tunnel New York needs. How do you take all these good words, the tapping, the backslapping, and
the tapping and the backslapping? Dude, they're one step away from saying the tapping on the tongue.
What would your strategy be? What your advice to the mayor-elect be to say, now turn it into substance, turn it into money, turn it into support and cooperation, not fighting?
Well, look, he needs to continue to reach out to President Trump. President Trump likes when people call him for advice. He likes to get phone calls from people. He needs to use him as a sounding board, someone he seems to be getting advice from. And look, I'm not at all surprised that this meeting went well at all. Donald Trump is a New Yorker, and it is in his interest to see the city that helped him make his fortunes succeed. He also is always very impressed by people who do well, who can command a moment. And certainly Mamdani has done that beyond anybody's expectations of what he could do. He's a political outsider. Trump was a political outsider. I think he has a lot of respect for that. And I think today's meeting was
He likes to get phone calls and talk. He's just an old person.
handled by both of them brilliantly, and it really creates a foundation where the mayor-elect can go back to the president and say, hey, when we talked about housing, I need this. When we talked about the price of groceries, I need this. When we talked about X, I need Y. And I think Mamdani, who is amazingly charming, is going to be smart and strategic and continue to call on the president.
Well, wow for the city of New York and its challenges if they can actually have a productive relationship. But sure, Michael, we're watching those pictures and listening to the president's words, and then he adds more tonight on Truth Social about rational guy, liked it, happy to meet him, proud to meet him. What happened to the Republican strategy of this guy is a socialist, the entire Democratic Party is socialist, don't vote for the socialists in 2026? Did Donald Trump just blow that up?
Not only did he blow that up, but he also he also blew up the idea that calling fascists means that they will do more fascism and incites more violence. Like, he literally just proved that.
At this a little differently, John. I have to be honest. Look, it's going to make things more complicated for Elise Stefanik, who's running for governor in the state of New York. But what I think strategically the president has just done, he just disrupted, I would argue, Democrats' overall messaging.
Oh, he's blowing all right.
Strategy next year on affordability and the price and the cost of living. I think the president can make the case that Republicans can work with progressive Democrats, who, by the way, don't typically get along with their sort of Democratic establishment friends, and say, hey, if they can't work with you, Republicans will where we can on affordability. Let's cut that red tape. Let's decrease the level of restrictions in New York to make housing more accessible. And by the way, let's also employ more native New Yorkers, young men, to build those houses. So the strategy doesn't go away. The strategy changes, John, in that 2.5 weeks ago, we got our butts kicked by Democrats at the local level. We lost 2 states. Mamdani got elected. The American people made it clear. We elected Republicans on the guise that you would deliver on affordability and the cost of living. We haven't necessarily delivered. So what did the president do? Smartly and wisely, in my opinion, he's adjusting, he's pivoting, and the entire Republican Party should get behind the president to tackle the demands for the American people. If we do so, I think we can maintain that very unique coalition that gave us that majority last November.
We'll see if you're right, but a whole lot of ads planned by Republican ad makers just hit the cutting room floor. David.
I don't like that smartly is a word. Anyways, craziest part of the meeting, it bricked Fox News host's brain so bad they're saying his name right now.
Sure, Michael mentioned Elise Stefanik. She is running for governor here in New York, and Trump was asked about her criticisms of the mayor-elect today. Take a listen.
Mr. President, Republican Elise Stefanik has campaigned multiple times by calling Zohran Mamdani a jihadist. Do you think you're standing next to a jihadist right now in the Oval Office?
No, I don't, but she's out there campaigning, and you know, you say things sometimes in a campaign.
Isn't that sort of
She's a very capable person, but you really have to ask her about that. But I don't particularly. I think I met with a man who's a very rational person.
Stefanik responding tonight, David, on social media in part, saying we'll have to agree to disagree on this one.
Oh, dude. What? How do we deal with winning this hard? How do we deal with this? I feel like the plankton meme where it's like, I didn't think I'd get this far. Oh, I didn't think I would get this far. Wow. Now what?
And again, calling the mayor-elect a jihadist. Again, did the president of the United States just pull the rug out from under her?
It's almost like the left has been saying for the longest fucking time, hey, guys, you know, if you just run a candidate that's as big and as bold as Trump, but has actual policies that will help people, they will win. And the problem with the Republicans is that they've always been sandbagged by the fact that they're unbelievably racist. Like, conservative ideology would win over so many immigrants because a lot of immigrants are conservative. They're like, a lot of immigrants are like socially conservative, not so much like fiscally conservative necessarily. And if Republicans ever could get their racism under control, they would win over so many Catholic people. So many religious voters that tend to also tend to lean conservative, but they can't stop being racist. So they will always be beat by a populist who actually cares about running on the same positions without any of the racism. Trump left flanked the Dems. Dude, never, ever, ever did I think, by the way, that Trump would out left flank the Democrats. What a fucking shit show, dude.